Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Newbie Dice, and I thought I'll give you guys some channel updates because oh my gosh, it's been 6 months since the last video. So let me tell you what I've been up to and what's coming up next in this channel. Okay, so let's have some updates. So life happened basically, I have one kid and another kid on the way right now. So been busy with that and preparing for the second kid. Also, gotta step up, make more money to pay the bills, so I have less time to do these YouTube stuff. So yeah, YouTube channel is fun and all, but it's not bringing in any money, so it's just a hobby in my free time on top of the hobby of playing the game, right? So yeah, I've been busy with that. So yeah, it's been quite a while since the last video. Also, um, in this period of time, there's quite a lot more Kings of War YouTubers in the scene. I uh, can hardly keep up with the number of new YouTubers on the scene as well. So I'm glad that the scene is growing in the YouTube space as well. So there's much more content out there for you guys to consume. So yeah, I'm just one of the many YouTubers out there right now. So I'd like to take a quick look at what's been done before on my channel. I did experiment with a lot of things. So for those of you who came to join my channel, subscribe to my channel a bit later, you might miss some of my earlier videos and projects that I've been doing. So first of all, let's look at this. My channel started with this learning focused battle reports, right? So learning focused means I keep talking about what I did wrong, what could have been done better. So instead of focusing on the nitty gritty of the dice roll and all that, I just give an overall summary of the game, and I like to keep it short. So in my earlier videos, I try to keep it within 20 minutes. It sort of got longer and longer as time goes along, so I think I like that old format. So it's also something unique to my channel. I think the other YouTubers don't do it in that format. So yeah, I'd like to do it and continue to do that in that format. Next is I have my physical army, the Cherry Blossom Coalition, which is one of my pride and joy. It is a full mantic army with lots of conversions for the Order of the Green Lady, and I call them the Cherry Blossoms Coalition, right? And yeah, I have a video of it. I think I'm supposed to point here a video of it, of my army. I did take a second video. I might upload it in future, but I have a video of my completed army up to that point. Since then, I have added more new units to the army, and I even made a narrative report out of this battle reports with my army, so you can check it out here as well. I'm gonna link it on the top bar over there. So I made 2 narrative battle reports, which is a lot of work. Many hours put into editing the videos with effects, sounds, voiceovers, story, dialogue, stuff like that. So it's been a lot of work, so I've not been doing it since that too. I may do it again in future, but it will be a labor of love if I were to ever to do it again. But do check it out. I think some people really gave me quite good feedback about it, so if you haven't already, do check it out. Next, I have done podcasts. So I made it a video podcast because I thought it would be a good way to grow the channel as well. And since it's a video podcast, I can put something on screen for people to see, because I do know that audio podcast being usually an audio format, the thing about it is some things doesn't translate well over audio. Things like battle reports, talking about miniatures, how they look. So that doesn't translate very well just in audio format. So I thought I'll try it in video format. So I have 3 episodes of that. So if you haven't checked that out, you can also check it out here. I don't know how many of these links I can link, but I'll try to link as many as I can. I made one entertainment focused bat rap, and that is in the style of Mastercrafted, so inspired by Mastercrafted. So that was also a lot of work, not as much work as the narrative styles, but if you like to check it out, it will also be linked up here. I made a tactics video, and that is how to deal with Alpha Strike armies and / flying units, so you can check that out also. That's been pretty popular. I made a lore video, so three people on the video talking about the lore of Kings of War. So if you like to get the lowdown, you can check it out there as well. I've been, I call it the too long didn't read lore video, so it's supposed to be a summarized version. I did get feedback that it's still pretty long, but if you watch the video, the lore is actually completed in like the first 1/3 of the video. So the remaining things are just talking faction to faction. So that's why it's very slow after that. Okay, so the main bulk of the lore is described in the first 1/3 of the video, and the rest we're talking faction to faction. And something that I always wonder when I talk about the faction is like, where are they on the world map? So we identified where each faction is in the world map of Panator, so that's pretty interesting as well. And I did have a video called Dice Man that is a little bit old. I'm gonna link it up as well. But it gives you an idea of just to have a quick rule of thumb or quick calculation of what are the chances of routing a unit from the moment you charge, not after dealing damage, right? Because after dealing damage, it's just the odds of the nerf check. So to get a very quick rule of thumb, a quick general idea of what's your chance of routing a unit when you charge, with the odds of how many hits, how many wounds you're gonna deal, and the nerf check required, so on and so forth. So that's a pretty useful video as well to help you make more informed decisions of whether to charge, what's your chances of routing. So what's coming up next on my channel? I've got to admit I had a little bit of competitive burnout. I've been playing in Call to Arms. So Call to Arms, pretty much a lot of the best players around the world has been playing. I wanted to do well in this season, but when Call to Arms started, it was just at the start of Clash of Kings 2022, so the meta is still very new. And the thing about Call to Arms is it's 6 rounds and it's 2 weeks per round. So 6 times 2 is 12 weeks, so that's a 3-month long campaign basically. So firstly, it's pretty long, so by the time you reach your final few rounds, the meta sort of shifted already. And it's also a long drawn out process to be in this campaign. So I wanted to do very well. I finished, I think, in the top half, but not in the top 10. I have finished in better placement before. But yeah, so it's a lot of stress to have an expectation of myself to perform well. So each game comes with this stress. Please don't lose. So that kind of gave me a little bit of a burnout. So I'm taking a bit of a mini break right now. I've been playing much less Kings of War. I'm actually playing a few other games. To name a few, I've been trying to play Dead Zone. Local scene's not really getting into it. I did post on the Dead Zone Fanatics page about trying to do it on Tabletop Simulator. Fred Oslo did a demo table with a few demo minis of Tabletop Simulator, but unfortunately don't really have the time to figure out the rest. What we would probably need to do is to have modular terrain pieces so that we can shuffle up the terrain and make a new table every time we play, and also all the faction minis. So definitely there are no Dead Zone figures on Tabletop Simulator, so we probably have to use Warhammer 40k substitutes for different units. So that would be great if somebody who's familiar with Tabletop Simulator modules and familiar with 40k, so that you can see, this rebel unit, I could use this 40k model as a stand-in. I'm not well versed in 40k, so it will be tough for me to figure out what's the closest model equivalent of this Dead Zone model. So it will be too much effort, too much trouble, too much difficulty for me to figure all of that out. So if anyone's into Tabletop Simulator, you're quite familiar with making modules, you can grab 40k models to stand in to basically proxy the whole Dead Zone range. That would be great. Then we can get some games online, because the tabletop simulator demo that Fred did was actually pretty good, pretty beautiful. The terrain pieces look like on point. It looks like a photograph of a real Dead Zone table. Yeah, so that's Dead Zone. I've been playing a little bit of God Tier as well. So there's like an online Discord community that plays God Tier. So I've been getting a few games in. That game plays very well on Tabletop Simulator because it's grid based, so you don't have to measure distances and stuff like that. You don't have to place your model perfectly. No true line of sight issues. So that game plays very smoothly on Tabletop Simulator. I've joined a local Blood Bowl league as well. Not enough players for the league, so I joined to just take part in it. Can't say I'm enjoying the Blood Bowl a lot. I think it's too rage inducing for me because the order of activations and the moment you have a bad dice roll, it turns over and stuff like that. So too much brain frying and rage inducement for me. Yeah, just complete the local campaign. I did paint up a bunch of Harlequin models that I have as dark elves in Blood Bowl. So had a bit of fun with that, with like a space, what do you call that, the space themed, where you have black with splotches of purple, blues and pink hues, and then spotted with stars. So yeah, kind of at least enjoyed painting up my team. So locally, my local crowd also did a local campaign, and it's run by somebody else. So I've been appreciative of that. I think the local community is growing strong, and somebody is taking over the reins. Johan, he's on one of my podcast episodes, and Gard as well have been pushing the game forward, and Gard has always been introducing his best at introducing the game to new players, while Johan is running the campaign. So pretty cool that the community is large enough that I don't have to take part all the time, and is still going very strong. So in future, I would still like to focus on the learning focused back reps, because I think that's my strength and that's what I can offer to the YouTube community. And I would like to do some entertainment focused back reps as well, but that will be much fewer, I guess, only when I'm in the mood, I have the time, and there are painted armies, then we are able to do that. Yeah, but that is much more effort, so I'll be doing it less often. I would like to continue the podcasts still, so there'll still be podcasts. Video format, a lot of people have asked me about audio format. So the thing about audio format is to host, to have the podcast, right, you have to host the audio files, and so they are called podcast hosting sites, and usually they have a free tier which is very limited. So even for more basic functions, you have to pay, right? It's not a lot, it's like $12 a month. But for me, I can't really justify it because this is a hobby in the first place, and I'm taking the effort to produce content, and just to have to pay to get it out there on top of it is a lot of cost to me. It's just the straw that breaks the camel's back. I'm devoting a lot of time and effort into this, and then I still have to pay for it. So it's not something that I'm very keen on. So if you have any recommendation of free podcast hosting sites with decent features, do let me know, because a lot of them are like the free version is like you can only upload 90 minutes a month. And so what if your podcast is more than 90 minutes? Doesn't mean you can't upload it. And then they have stuff like the episodes will disappear after a certain amount of time, 2 months for example. So I would prefer my episodes to be out there forever. So these are the things that is restricting the audio format of the podcast. In my third episode of the podcast, I have a Dropbox premium account, so I actually linked a Dropbox link to my Dropbox folder with the audio version of the podcast. So basically the video, I just rip the audio out and you can listen it as an audio. So yeah, let me know if you got any podcast hosting suggestions. And Cherry Blossom Coalition, I'm not sure if I did a second recording of my army on display, because the first one I did, I just held the camera with my hands, so it's a little bit shaky. So in order to reduce the shakiness, I did stabilization in the video editing software, and it's called warp stabilization. So basically it stretches the videos the opposite direction of your shake, so to counter react the shake. But sometimes you can see that the perspective gets very distorted. So the second one, I did use a video stabilizer to take a video of my army, and unfortunately the second time I forgot to take out one of my models to record. That's the Greater Earth Elemental is converted from Acronia, so I'm like, bummer. So secondly, and it's a much wider range because since then my army expanded, right? Just that I forgot to put in the Greater Earth Elemental. So maybe I'll still do a video. I'm not sure if it's worth doing a second higher quality video of my army. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you think that I should do a second Cherry Blossom Coalition, just a video of my army on display. I have the first one, you can see it up there. I'm gonna link it up. Yeah, I'm moving to my next physical army is Persian Abyssals, and I'm using 100% Mantic models again. So I find it fun and challenging to do conversions. So I need to be creative with how I turn this base model to look like this model, right? So as compared to things like 3D printing, of course I don't have a 3D printer, but you can always get it commission printed. That actually limits a lot of creativity for me, because like whatever you can think of, if you search the STL file and you can print it out, you don't get your hands. To me, like miniature gaming compared to video gaming, it's all about the tactile feel, right? Having shelves loads of hobby material, from epoxy putty to grass flock. I have 2 cupboards full of all these hobby materials. It's all about the tactile feel, and conversion, same thing. Getting a hobby knife, getting clippers, cut this piece here, glue it onto there, doing creative things with your hands rather than on the mouse, right? So I really enjoy this part, Persian Abyssal. So I think I am able to showcase some of that to you guys. Let me just alternate tab over here. I'd like to show you where I upload the pictures as well. So if you're on Kings of War Fanatics, right? You go to, let's go back to Kings of War Fanatics, for example. So on top there's discussion, so you can actually go to media, and then you go to albums. So I have albums of all my armies uploaded here actually. So this is my Persian Abyssals, that's my Cherry Blossom Coalition. This is my Romance of the Three Kingdoms of Men army. So I have 3, I actually have another one, Ratkin. Basileia is here, page Basileans. So my Basileans started out as non-Mantic, and after that the later models were all Mantic, so I could field fully Mantic armies. My Ratkin is here, so these are mostly Skaven. Okay, so Ratkin, Basileans, Romance of the Three Kingdoms of Men, Cherry Blossom Collision, and Persian Abyssals. So I'll click on Persian Abyssals while I have a tab of my Cherry Blossom Coalition. So this is my army over here. I showed some work in progress as well. Yeah, this is my Greater Earth Elemental converted from Acronius, which I forgot to take a video of displayed in my second recording of the video. I've since done a second horde of Order of the Forsaken using Dracon Riders. This is pretty cool. Druid, and this little magical soul here is actually made out of blue stuff. Blue stuff is from Green Stuff World. It's actually thermoplastic, so it softens when you heat it up and hardens again when it cools down. So that's great for using to do casting to do your own casting. So you prep and case blue stuff over a bit, right? And then when you peel it off, then you can cast multiples of it. So I use it to cast stuff for my Abyssal's army. So then I noticed that it gets very stretchy when you stretch it out and when it's warm. So I use it to stretch it and twirl it around a pen, and then I paste it on the staff, so it has this nice cool swirly effect. Another one here, trying to mimic some movement as she's riding, so the glow trailing behind. Yep. Let's go on to my Persian Abyssal. So this is firstly the lower abyssals, and I got a friend to 3D print this Persian shield. It's actually historically this is how their shields look like, and then I used blue stuff to cast the shield out, and then I could cast multiple copies of it, right? Because I did commission and pay the friend to make the first shield. Yeah, I cast it. I made it in the style of Immortals from 300. They have this silvery mask. Show you a picture later. And these are my Molochs. So the turbans from both the Abyssals and the Molochs, they're using plumber's tape. So it's that rubbery silicone feel kind of tape that you can buy from the hardware store. You usually wrap it around pipes to prevent it from leaking. So I just wrap it around, and then because the material sticks on itself, so it's very easy to just keep wrapping, and then I just dab a bit of super glue when I'm done, and then it just holds the loose end in place. Yeah, this one has gems on the turban as well. So these gems are actually from nail art. So for ladies who do their nails, they have lots of small adornments, so this is where I get that. So there are 3 hordes of Moloch. So one with pole arms, one with two-handed axes, and then the middle guy is holding the horn, and then one with two-handed weapons, so that I can differentiate the 3 different hordes easily. Initially I thought of like mixing, right? So like every horde has pole arms, 2 hands, and 2 weapons, but I thought then it's very hard to differentiate between them. So I just thought that I would do this instead and make the 3 hordes even. You know, you can still tell they're Molochs, but you can tell the 3 hordes apart very easily. This is Zazuzu, so I take one of the Vanguard flame bearers, and then I mount it on the back of this spoiler champion to use as Zazuzu. The lightning effects is made of actually just paper clips drilled and pinned into the fireball that he was holding. Doing a bit of OSL. I don't own an airbrush, so it's all brushed on with a dry brushing technique. And this is Manifestation of Jafar. And yep, lightning effects, same thing. A lot of OSL, turban, and the gem in the middle. So for this guy, his turban is a little bit harder to do because he has those ram horns where the horns are curled, so I don't have anything to wrap the turban around. So I actually made like a base of epoxy putty or green stuff, and then I mounted it on the head, drilled it onto the head, and then I wrapped the plumber's tape over that bit in the middle. Yep, so it's from all angles. And this is the inspiration, Jafar. I made the turban in its Jafar's turban shape, and then I had the red gem and this swirls. And this is the 300 Immortals. And the Molochs are sort of resembling these guards from Aladdin. Alright, so I'm just gonna tap back. So yeah, Persian Abyssals. And going forward, I'm still hoping to upload videos, but not on a regular schedule. Like, that is the reverse of what people tell YouTubers to do. The first thing is to be consistent. Unfortunately, that's not something that's in my capability right now. So videos will be pretty irregular, but hopefully in decent or good quality. So every time I upload, I'll make sure it's good content. The next 6 uploads will be the 6 rounds of my Call to Arms games, and it will be in the the learning focus style, my usual style. So playing as competitively as I can, and what can I learn from my games, and what can I help you guys to figure out to make your games better as well. Lastly, I'm approaching 500 subscribers. So I hear that when you hit 500 subscribers, there are some YouTube functions that are unlocked for content creators. I'm not very sure what they are. I think one is a community function where I can sort of post updates without posting videos to my subscribers or something like that. So getting close to that milestone. So if you guys can help me help me reach this 500 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. And with that, my next video will be coming out very soon. That will be my Call to Arms Series 6 Round 1 video. And hope you guys look forward to that. And once again, hit like and subscribe to check out and be updated of my new content. And instead of my intro video at the start, I will sign off with my outro video.
Hello there! I like to watch battle reports to get better at games. So I started making short, summarized battle reports that focus on learning points. So welcome to my channel, Newbie Dice. Do like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you enjoy my videos.